before the night began. The rest of the world only knew that it was an ordinary night of celebration, a cross-artist collaboration event scheduled to be lively and glamorous. But far beyond the lighting and grand stage, there was a personal plan that Jungkook himself had carefully crafted, one that was almost nullified because of the emotional risk it posed. Lisa, who that evening looked stunning in a diamond black dress with an exclusive design from the famous French fashion house, smiled broadly without the slightest idea what was going to happen. He was standing in the middle of the stage, holding a microphone, when the lights suddenly dimmed. The atmosphere suddenly turned cold, tense, as if the whole universe was holding its breath. All eyes find out what is going on. It was then that the huge screen behind the stage lit up. Not the usual video, not an advertising promotion, not an event highlight. Rather, it's a snapshot of a long journey, hidden footage of Lisa's rough days, from her debut to the moment she almost gave up. The video was conceived in the format of an emotional documentary, accompanied by a slowly sounding narrative voice. Not anyone's voice. It was Jungkook's voice. Even before she appeared on stage, her voice had already made the fans flinch. A voice that is usually only heard in songs now recites poetry, word for word, so sincere, as if hitting the heart of everyone who hears it. There are stars in this world that we may not always see shining, but they are still there, still fighting, still loving even in silence. For that one star, I want tonight you to know, you to be seen. You're appreciated. You're loved. Tears broke out. Even before the main shock happened, the atmosphere was already out of control. The camera focused on Lisa, captured her tears falling without her being able to hold back. He covered his mouth with his hand, his eyes widened in complete shock, his body trembled. Everyone is wondering, since when was this planned? How could someone like Jungkook, who was almost impossible to show his emotions in public, do this? And that's when, as in the drama's most electrifying scene, Jungkook appears from behind the stage, not with loud music, not with bombastic performances. He carried only a simple bouquet of white flowers and a small box, dark blue in color, shimmering faintly under the lamp. The other BTS members present looked equally shocked. Even Taeyong, who was known to be close to Jungkook, was seen covering his mouth in shock. RM could only shake his head with a small, meaningful smile, as if he knew that this decision was something he had thought about for a long time. Jungkook walked slowly towards Lisa, his steps steady but his eyes teary. The bouquet she handed slowly, and in a quivering voice, she said into the microphone, "Thank you for staying, Lisa. The world will never be the same without you." That atmosphere became so quiet that everyone's heartbeats sounded as if they were echoing in the room. Lisa, who was speechless, could only nod as she hugged the bouquet tightly. But everyone knows that the real surprises are not over yet. Jungkook then opened the small box he had brought. Inside was a necklace, not an ordinary diamond necklace, but a star-shaped pendant with a small engraving on the back engraved in French. Monitoile dans l'obscurité, my star in the dark. He did not put the necklace on Lisa in public, but he held it in his hand, showing it briefly to the camera before saying, "It's for those days when you feel alone. It's for those days when you think no one cares. This is to remind you that there is someone, no matter how far away, who has always believed in you." It was a moment that ruined everything. Social media exploded. Platforms like Twitter, TikTok, Instagram all flooded the world with such emotional footage. Hashtag Jungkook for Lisa instantly became a global trending topic in less than 5 minutes, with millions of tweets flooding the internet. Armies around the world cried, sending messages of love and support, and even Blackpink's fandom, Blink, came together in this tearful moment. However, the moment also sparked great controversy. Many questioned the true relationship between Jungkook and Lisa. Is this just a form of friendship? Is there something deeper? Why is Jungkook so bold to express this much emotion in public, something he almost never does even for BTS members themselves? Some Korean media began to dig deeper. Old rumors of a secret closeness between the two are back. Old photos that were once ignored are now being re-examined with renewed suspicion. Small clues that were once not considered important are now arranged like puzzle pieces. Brief looks at the awards show, small moments backstage, to a selection of certain songs that are now reinterpreted with hidden meaning. Is it true that Jungkook harbored feelings for Lisa all this time? Is the necklace a symbol of something deeper? Or is this a form of respect for their so sincere and rare friendship? Army is divided. Some are devastated, fearing the possibility of a publicly announced love affair. Others, on the other hand, feel touched, realizing that an emotional connection does not always have to lead to romance. What is clear, one thing is undeniable. The feeling that emanated that night was real. Lisa then posted on her Instagram story, with a dark background and only one sentence, "Je n'oublierai jamais ce moment." I will never forget this moment. No photos, no video, just that sentence. But enough to make the world hysterical again. The next day, the respective agencies issued brief statements seeking to calm the storm. Jungkook and Lisa have a respectful relationship as colleagues. No romantic relationship happened. But for many, it only makes the atmosphere even more mysterious. Because the truth that shone in their eyes that night could not be faked. And like small coals hidden under the ashes, speculation warms up even more. Theories are emerging. Is this the beginning of their secret collaboration project? Are they planning to release a song together? Or is this just an emotional confession that Jungkook finally can't hide anymore? And as dawn broke after that all-changing night, one thing became increasingly clear. The world was no longer the same. Not only because of Jungkook's shock, not only because of Lisa's tears that fell on that grand stage, but because something deeper had touched the consciences of millions. Whether they are fans or not, whether they believe in that secret relationship or not, everyone can feel that this is more than a show. From Seoul to Paris, from New York to Bangkok, the world's media discuss the events of that night incessantly. Is this a hidden love? Writes one major news portal in France. Jungkook and Lisa's moment shook the world, Japan's national television said. Even American news outlets that are usually reluctant to discuss K-pop idols were dragged along, analyzing every gesture, every intonation of Jungkook's voice, every expression of Lisa. But beneath all the euphoria, another story is hidden. A dark story that slowly creeps out, revealing that perhaps the moment is not entirely pure. It was rumored that the surprise of the night was actually a form of Jungkook's resistance to the invisible pressure that had been shackling him for so long. Multiple sources within the industry, who asked to remain anonymous, revealed that over the years, Jungkook has been asked to maintain an untouchable image, a superstar who has never shown any preference or emotional closeness towards anyone outside of his group. Those unwritten rules were made to keep the fanbase in check, to maintain the illusion of a perfect idol that belongs to everyone. But that night, Jungkook shattered that wall with one simple act, showing his heart. He knows what the risks are, said a well-known former K-pop manager. But he chose to do it too. That's God-level bravery. Lisa, according to rumors, was contacted several times by certain parties not to attend the event, or at least subtly refuse the surprise on stage. But Lisa, who is known to be free-spirited and has a reputation for being stubborn about her principles, rejected all the suggestions.